How's it? Welcome back to the Mark Redline Mechanic channel. So it's 2022, this is my first official video, so let me show you what I've been working on my whole holiday. As you know, I've got this beauty of a green VR6, green blue, malachite, I don't know what color it is. For you it probably looks blue now, but for me it looks green. So it's a pretty rare color and it is my dream VR6. Let me give you a bit of history on this car. I have wanted this particular car for more than 7 or 8 years, that I have been asking the owner whenever I see him around, please, when you're ready to sell it, and that day eventually came. So now I am the proud owner of my dream VR6 in the exact color that when I was a child of 15 or 16, that when these cars came out, they never came out in these colors. They only came out in the base colors, and only the 97 onwards, and they started with all the nice metallics, and then we got colors like this, a pearl blend. It's actually such a nice color because wherever you go the car seems a different color. When you take a picture of it, it's a different color blue. When you put it against something green, it looks more green. When you put it behind something blue, it looks more blue. So it is like a very special color to me, and it was very hard to find. I only know of one other one that I've seen, that's Jesse Moodley's one. His one is, I think, the same color as mine, but we're still going to get those cars together and you're probably going to see that they're going to be different colors. So this VR6 here, basically so far I have been right through the car. I had to do front shocks, I did front shock saddles, I did front discs, I did front disc pads, I did ball joints, I've done new V-belts. It developed a bit of a noise in the engine, as you may have seen in one of my last videos. Before I took it for the exhaust, it had a funny rattle, and you know, it sounded like something in the exhaust. Turned out it was a guard on the bottom timing chain. So inevitably ended up taking the whole car apart, taking out the gearbox, putting a new timing chain guard, sorting out the noise in the engine. So once I did that, I managed to get a pair of Hella fogs, original Hella fogs, and a set of original Hella indicators, you know, all from, you know, the backdoor supply of Volkswagen. Being friends with the owner helped because he can look in whoever else had stock of it, and he ordered it for me, and I was lucky to get them. They did cost a bit of bucks, but at least it makes the car a lot more OEM. So the next thing I did to the car was we did a bit of interior work. I fitted a new gear lever boot rubber leather. It's my attempt. It took about 3 hours. You cannot believe how difficult it is to stretch that leather over the gear knob. Trust me, it's not an easy job, and it's by no means perfect, but it is my touch on the car. So when somebody sees that, yeah man, I did it myself, man. I'm not a professional leatherworks, but we'll take it to someone eventually and they can pull it 100% straight. But I'm pretty happy. The complete gear lever is back to like OEM spec, so I'm pretty happy with that. A few things that I still have to get on the car: a lower steering cover, unobtainium. You know, it's got the piece missing for the height adjustment, unobtainium. So if anyone knows or anyone has a lead on one, please hit me up in the comment section, send me a Facebook message or something like that. I'm looking for a lower cover. Even if it's damaged, I can repair it. It's just to close it up, you know, makes it seem more OEM. And then one more little trim below the steering. There's a little plastic trim that fits there. It's only on the airbag models. If anyone has a lead on one of those little plastic trims, I am looking for that as well. On the car so far, I have put the aircon back to connected. The pipes were broken off on the aircon condenser, so I repaired the pipes. I put a new condenser in front, and then we had it gassed. And then it actually seems to have the same problem as my Jetta VR6, which is when you turn on the aircon, the high-speed fan doesn't kick on. So the pressure on the aircon system gets too high, and then it's going to blow the pipes. So unfortunately, it is gassed, but I have to go to an auto electrician now to go to the next step and dig under the dash and see why the fan is not kicking on with the aircon. So I basically have gotten to nearly the point where it's almost ready to go for paint. I don't know if I'm going to paint it. I think it's, for me, I'm happy with it. It's got those weather marks, original paint, you know. I've just touched it up here and there, you know, so I'm happy with that. I don't have to have a car that is super shiny and hasn't got a dent or a scratch. You know, it's got history inside the car. You know, you can see it's been through the paces. It's got 200,000 real kilometers. You know, I'm probably the third or fourth owner, and really it still drives like a dream. This one, in comparison with my Jetta, let me tell you, this thing drives like a brand new car in comparison with my Jetta. The only thing is, I think that the front springs have been cut, because you can see that it does look a little bit lower in front, and even though I put new shock saddles, it's still banging on the bumps. So the ride height, I don't think, is completely stock. So I'll probably put a set of coilies, or a nice just set of springs, you know, a decent set of springs, just to get the height right. And further than that, I don't think there's anything else I have to do to the car besides get the central locking working, which is for me a huge thing. You want to be able to press the button, but just to get the remote, you can get the casings, but to get the parts to make it work, there's like nobody who knows how to get them to work. Or if there is, please let me know on this, or tag someone who knows how to repair the OE system, so I can have an OE remote. You know, it's still got all the OE stuff in it. It's just obviously over its life something has happened and now it's not working. Even with the key, it doesn't lock, the pump is not switching on. So I'm still going to look at that, because that's literally, we first got to get the pump to work, which is in itself, it's not just a case of two wires, you know. It's triggered by the lock, and it's triggered by the central locking unit. So you actually have to have a person who knows what they're doing, and it's a little bit above my wiring expectation, and with regard to testing wiring and stuff like that, without physically stripping everything. So I think I'll leave that job to someone a little bit more skilled in that department than me. But I've done all the mechanical part that I can do. You know, I've done the service, I've done all the brakes, I've got it back to that tip-top running condition. You know, it's basically all I have to do is fix the little vents on the inside of the car. I have to get those two little trim panels for the inside. Oh, and there's one more, the little piece on the driver's side behind the seats that goes on the floor rail. I don't have that one. And if anyone has got I'm going to ask this, but I know everyone's going to say, nah, it's impossible. I'm looking for an original Mari biscuit. You know, that original Mari that fits in that space. Even if the tire is damaged, I'm not worried about that. I just want to have that original rim. So if anyone has lead on an original VW 5-spoke Mari biscuit that fits in the boot of the Jetta and the Golf, I've got two cars, and really you can't fit a normal size wheel in there, because it's a mission with the carpet. Otherwise I'm going to make a foam insert or something to raise the boot, so that you won't see because you know, you can't put anything nice in the boot. It looks ugly because now you got this huge bulge. So Mari biscuit, anyone, or if anyone's got some sort of insert package that they make or know of, you know, hit me up in the comment section. So why don't you guys come with me, and we'll give you a look around the car so you can see all the things that we did do while I've been working on for the last like 2 months. So let's check it out. So first and foremost, we can start in front here. This is the most important thing here, the VR6 badge. This was donated to me by my friend Ravashan. Thank you very much. You know, our meeting that we had was still, dude, you gave me so much. And look at the car now. Look, you gave me, remember what this car looked like. Remember this here, the whole fender was all dented in. This whole fender was dented in. All of this here, I've replaced it. It had all those horrible vents there, that were those old ones that were that import style. You know, we've taken out nearly all of the dents out of the car. I had my friend Carlos come around, and he went in and he pushed out on every single panel of this car. He just never did the roof. So if you want to look closely here, there are still a few small ones, you know, on the roof. But obviously we just have to take out the hood lining. It didn't work out. I tried to get the two trades in on the same day, one guy doing the hood lining, but the hood liner guy, they couldn't come in succession. So unfortunately now I'm left with a dented roof, but with a new hood liner. So basically on the bottom here, everything is still as it was. I have fitted the little corners. These little pieces here were missing. I do have the mud flaps. They're still in the car. Still have to fit them. Then on the back here, I fitted the aftermarket VR6 mud flaps. You can see from this side. If you look at the writing closely, you can see it's like not exactly like a factory one, but I mean it's a good replacement. I had the exhaust worked on. I've had this is just a twin 63 cut-off pipe, and I just wanted that just that OE look at the back. Then on this side here, there wasn't much to do. There was only the one trim piece here I was missing in the front. I fitted that on, and then that was basically it. On this side here, I will show you what we did. Okay. You can see on the inside here, it's pretty much, well, I've just cleaned it a bit, but you can see this is the trim. This is the trim piece here that I'm looking for, and then I also need a visor. If anyone's got a decent visor for me. And then you can see these are all the leftover bits here. There's the mud flaps for the front, one reproduction, one original. So I'm still gonna have a look at those things. You know, this is it's a car that's in progress. The front windows work, the back windows don't. The sound system doesn't work. The vents don't turn, so I can't adjust the vent position. So there are a few more things I still have to do on this car to get it back to like that 100% OEM. So the central locking for me and the aircon that's the next big step. So I feel that maybe with another few months, a little bit more money. I've spent a lot on this car, but a little bit more is just going to take it over the top. And then obviously I still have to send it in for a nice detail and paint the rims. And then I think it will be that 120, 130,000 rand worthy, that you can put up a post on this Facebook and all the people can't come and say, oh, it's so overpriced and whatever, because these specific cars, these 98 and 99 models are becoming so sought after. People are paying mad money for them. They're paying 150,000, 200,000, you know, the super neat ones. People are making offers on those cars of 250 and 300. You know, you can say what you want on Facebook behind your keyboard at home, oh, they'll never get their price. Trust me, there are people with means that want to have a car like this in their garage, and if you got a super neat one, they'll pay you what you want for it. So by me trying to restore this car, it wasn't something that just got bought. It was something that I strive for, and eventually in my life I own it now, you know, and I'm fixing it slowly. It didn't come to me as a complete perfect car, but it's the build. That's what we all do this for. It's the build. It's that fun of that satisfaction of when you clip in a fitting and you get something to work, and you know, as you're going along, and eventually it's perfect, and then I can cruise around in a perfect VR6 that is worth money. I'm not putting 200,000 into a City Golf and thinking I'm going to get 300,000 for it. I'm putting 100,000 into a VR6, and hopefully at the end I'll just get my money back. But the next person who owns this car will have that super neat one that's got everything, that every little clip and fitting, because I'm meticulous like that. I want my car to be like that. If it's got a place that there's a little rubber grommet, I want the rubber grommet to be there. So it's unfortunately the way my life goes. We're busy, we're working, I'm servicing so many people's cars. You've got life and family and kids, and you don't get time to work on your own stuff. So that's why I'm even making this video, you know, in an impromptu set here, just so I can at least get one video out to you guys before the end of the month in January 2022. So I think the next best thing is to take this thing for a drive. So, and before your thoughts run away, how's about to click the subscribe button on the bottom there? You know that little button that you can watch, and then just click that small little button, and there's that little bell that says hello, subscribed. Do that for me, please. Mark Redline Mechanic. And that's a wrap, guys. You must subscribe now if you want to see more of my projects.